Right. How do we restart this? So, the annoying thing is that nobody here will have heard anything that I've been trying to say because there was a technical issue and everything is depressing. Right. So, here we are. Keir Starmer has decided to say that Jeremy Corbyn deserved to lose the last election. Right. This has been a bit of a heated topic that people have had to deal with the Labour leadership at the moment. Keir Starmer is basically putting everything onto Jeremy Corbyn himself, rather than anything else that happened in the Labour Party, and especially that we have discovered since, right? So, and I sound a bit weird now, I've realised, because obviously I've just been talking about this for the past 10 minutes, and then I realised that none of it was being recorded. He's done this because he basically says, and it says here in the article that's right in front of us, that the public didn't trust Labour with their security jobs or their money. Now, I don't know why this is coming from what he's saying, because basically Labour haven't been in power since around the time of the financial collapse. So really, there's a strange thing to kind of drop that on Corbyn, especially since obviously I think it was the 2015 general election. He had, at the very least, if not actually worked out the money, had at least given a ballpark figure, right? Which there was nothing like that for the Conservatives. Now, when it comes to understanding why there's a bit of a beef between Starmer and Corbyn, in one regard, I'm going to have to redraw my little chart, right? Because this time you'll actually understand what I'm on about, because otherwise it's just pictures being drawn with pure silence, and that's just horrible. Right. Let's build a little bit of an Overton window. So, right. And we will put now. Oh, come on. Let's not use just dumb fonts that I've been using for anything. We'll do just Arial. Okay, so here we have what became the Lib Dems, the Liberal Party. Now, they were pretty centrist. This is not even or to scale, so please don't quote me on this lovely chart. But so here's what became the Lib Dems, and this is obviously the Tories. Now, the Tories were covered by this old system, and so were the Lib Dems. This was what the party system was up until 1900, which was then when we kind of realised, I guess, as a people, that the people should have a bit of cover in what we talk about in politics. And so the Labour Party, with the help of the trade unions, showed up. They were very, very much more lefty. I mean, the Wikipedia article says centre-left, but I imagine that's because you look at, I guess, the broad spectrum of everything that's happened in obviously the times since then. So, you've got to kind of take everything with a pinch of salt. So, to cover where Keir Starmer's coming from, right, we need to have a little bit of a history lesson on what New Labour is and how we've ended up where we are. So, the Tories were in power throughout the 1980s, I think the 1970s, and then landed it just up until 1994. So 1 year before my beautiful birth, and this world was graced with my presence, we had Maggie Thatcher. Now, on our little chart, I would say Maggie Thatcher lands around about here. Now, that's because a lot of political compass tests have put her quite authoritarian. That was because, obviously, the miners' strike happened in her time in office. And bad stuff happened during that. A lot of police brutality done by... police. That's how police brutality work, and that was pushed by the offices and the powers that be, basically, within a government. Now, so this is where we were politically for over a decade, and suddenly we had a Labour win. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have this kind of ready pink. We'll do ready pink for New Labour this time. Now, New Labour kind of ended up around about here. Like we they said centre left, and then kind of over time, was moving, and they were either centre or centre right. So this was kind of like the area that New Labour existed in for, a time. I would say very comfortably you could say that that's what that is, right? And that was the left-wing win, right? That was where we were, and we were like, oh boy, here we are. This is how we're doing well, right? And then obviously, the Lib Dems won with the Tories in 2010. Now, 2010 would land us around about here-ish, solely because the Lib Dems have been dragged right. And, unfortunately with centrists, the thing is they will be dragged usually towards the right rather than towards the left. That's because usually centrists are still capitalism focused, and the left are usually like, hey, let's get rid of capitalism, it kind of sucks, and the right are kind of like, hey, capitalism's okay, but maybe poor people shouldn't exist. And not in the way that the left think poor people shouldn't exist. They think that poor people should just be stopped being alive. That's how that works, kind of thing. Now, so that's where we were in 2010, and then we had I'm running out of colours here. I'm trying to find. So we had that's our smudge tool. We had Ed Miliband, who was I'd give him a bit more. He was better than Tony Blair, right? Better than Tony Blair. Had a bit of stuff, he did all right. Okay, and according to some Labour dossier notes, he was too far left for some backbenchers of Labour. So then, when you get Jeremy Corbyn, who's this lovely red mark here, right? That's where we kind of were, and that was considered way too far left, and so we had to kind of trek back. So Keir Starmer, and because I'm running out of colours, I'm going to have to start greying out colours. Keir's kind of gone about here, so that's our map, right? That's our map about how everything works. Have I just had a guest arrive into my chat? Do I have voice chat? Hello. A
secret guest has arrived.
Yeah, a secret guest has arrived. Knock. Unfortunately, I've accidentally shown our Discord chat a couple of times just because we're trying to figure out everything that wasn't working. Because I'm an idiot.
See, I came on and I was just like, wait a second. My iPad isn't showing any audio. What's going on? And then I was like,
do you realize how utterly depressed I became when I realized I'd been streaming for nearly half an hour? And the microphone... I don't know why the microphone had disconnected itself, because it never does that. I had tested every other part of the stream other than audio. Like, everything else was tested and turned out fine. So that made me very depressed. Sorry, I'm currently doing a bit
I'm here to cure your depression.
Yeah, I know. we are currently doing.
Okay, I'm here to sit.
What?
I'm here to sit and listen.
No. I mean, I'm literally just doing this because obviously I'm talking about Keir Starmer and where he's gone, and I had to. I felt I had to make this lovely diagram about how political standings worked on a chart so that people could understand them, and basically what he's done, right, is he has said that he is going to be so utterly patriotic, and he believes in family values. Now,
I'm out. No, that's it. Hand in my Labour membership. It's time to go.
But the idea that the family values, isn't that just... From everything I've ever learned...
What is family values?
Family values, from what I've learned, basically means we don't like gay people. That's all
I mean, I don't like gay people also, but that's besides the point.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's one problem. So yeah, that seems to be where, like, he's going with this patriotic view and this family values thing, which isn't a great look, since we've just come from on our lovely chart, this lovely red area with our best friend Jeremy Corbyn, friend of the show, obviously. I wish.
One day.
I mean, am I a simp for Corbyn? The question is,
are you a simp?
Yes, the answer is yes. So yes, absolutely, I am a simp for Corbyn. But anyway, so really, right? This is the weirdest thing: is Keir Starmer has been going out with this, and he had this comment that was, I'm trying to find where he said it. Whoopsie daisy! Those are chats that I don't want people to see. I'm not good at this. He had basically said about he wrapped himself in a British flag and said, you know, I want this country to be somewhere to be proud to grow old in, which is.
So you could say that he wants to make Britain great again.
Well, that's what this lovely evolved politics meme is doing right here, because he has a quote saying, I think working class people prefer flags, jingoism and racism to policies that actually benefit them.
Oh.
Doesn't that seem drastically ironic for a guy who just tried to fire all of the socialists from his party who would benefit poor people, when he is a knighted...
It's almost like I'm expecting him to pull like a zip from the top of his head like a Sloveni's actually a Tory underneath.
You are now quoting shows that I've just recently rewatched. But right, there is a hilarious thing as well. Red Labour have shared this, that he tweeted out about this carer talking about Yeah. So a carer has been sacked for speaking out about PPE shortages, right? Now, Keir Starmer fired a bunch of now Labour backbenchers who were big in Corbyn's time, right? It was big on what, you know, he just got rid of them in huge areas. Like Rebecca Long-Bailey, for example, was removed from a top position and put to the backbench and was, like, basically fired from a position for sharing sharing a column, an article about the anti-Semitism and, like, the fact that the Labour leaks were saying maybe some of it was...
What a shock. Wait, Labour want to cover over the anti-Semitism?
Well, the thing is, right, is some of it was... The Labour leak, right, this is something that I knew about, and I can't find the dossier. I had it saved on my computer, and it's disappeared, which is really depressing, because I was going to try and find the bits that would be citable for this. It's basically... They proved that basically people were saying, oh, we found Ed Miliband too far left, so we wanted to pin just about anything we could on Corbyn to get rid of him, right? That's what the backbenchers were doing. And So a lot of the anti-Semitism stuff was over-exaggerated. I'm not saying there was none. It's from what I remember, there was some stuff that was over-exaggerated to basically make Corbyn's leadership look terrible. Now, that's what this article was kind of talking about, that Rebecca Long-Bailey shared. Having shared that, Keir Starmer fired her from her position, right? And then he's on this bit saying that nobody should be sacked for speaking out. So, Keir Starmer doesn't quite understand irony. That's what this was all about.
Again, this is all going back to my Slovene theory.
Absolutely.
I think he just doesn't understand.
Well, absolutely. But as well, there's this lovely video, and I've not actually watched it, but I've heard bits about it.
Keir's doing a good job, a very good job, actually. And I think he's put Labour back on the map. He's made them competitive again. I mean, he will know, and we all know there's a long way to go before a general election and many things to be done. But in these months since he's become the leader, no, he's, I think, completely changed the image, certainly, of the Labour leadership amongst the public, and he deserves respect and admiration for that.
Right. And I kind of want to cover just how Tony Blair works in anything, because Tony Blair basically may or may not have got us into an illegal war in Afghanistan. Like, whether or not it was illegal is the bit that's debated, right? Not whether or not he got us into Afghanistan. Thought I'd assess that. Right. That's covered. Now...
So, if a war criminal, endorses someone, I'm automatically going to be like...
Yeah, you're not gonna be as thrilled with them, and then it's gonna get worse when they start doing a lot of jingoistic, patriotism and everything. It's not what you want. It's not what you're trying to achieve, is it? It's a bit of a weird play, isn't it? Now, as well, Tony Blair left such a mess that his successor just left. He left halfway through his term and left it to his successor, Gordon Brown, right? Who, when he was voted out, genuinely smiled for the first time in 2 years. I don't know if anybody else remembers this, but I remember sitting there and saying, it's kind of depressing that the happiest I've ever seen the man who's been Prime Minister is the time that he leaves being Prime Minister. It was the worst thing I'd ever watched. He just stepped out, said...
100 years ago.
Yeah, he basically went, I'm no longer Prime Minister, and then hugged his family and left. And... I don't think I've seen Gordon Brown on TV since. I have seen...
No, he's been a good lad. He's just disappeared. He's gone ghost. He was that. I'm done.
He's probably gone to the Algarve or something, never to return. As soon as
he's
Brexit...
like an expat in Benidorm.
Yeah, and then Brexit happened, and he was like, damn it, I've got to go back there. I've got to show my face. I hate everything. So, yeah, that was kind of what I was wanting to talk about Keir Starmer, and the fact that as a Labour leader, he's a bit weird because obviously Labour has come from an extremely left-wing base, and then suddenly trying to get rid of your extremely left-wing base is just not a very good idea, considering the fact that memberships went up, didn't they?
Yeah,
I was going to say,
lots of young people.
Hundreds of thousands of young people just went, yeah, Corbyn's there, I'm in, and...
But young people just don't matter. I think that's what they're really trying to tell us, is that young people, they're just like...
Yeah, exactly, because, you should always try and cater to the people who are most likely to die soon, because obviously you can't count on their votes forever, because they'll die. So that was kind of really what I was wanting to talk about Keir Starmer about, but obviously you have arrived now, and we are...
Oh, here we go.
I thought you wanted to talk about...